Hey guys, CosmoClam and Subranis here.
Howdy.
So, we're just going to do a little review on CubeWorld Alpha, which came out about 2 weeks ago. The alpha is much better than the Minecraft alpha. I played Minecraft in its alpha, and it was fantastic.
I feel like Minecraft is currently like the precedent of alpha games, 'cause it's, one of the most popular titles of all time.
But I think this sets a new precedent.
Yeah,
right
being so, Minecraft was really unpolished at its alpha release, but this game, they really put a lot of effort into making it seem a bit more full,
They did.
with a lot more features.
There are a lot more mobs than Minecraft originally had.
Which makes sense, though, because Minecraft focuses a lot on building, and this is more of a fighting game.
True. And there are pets and all that, which Minecraft brought to the table later, but to really have that in the alpha, I don't even like comparing this to Minecraft, honestly.
It's difficult, but I mean,
Everybody
being an
sees
indie alpha title,
yeah.
it just seems it shares a lot of resemblances, nonetheless. I mean,
Everybody sees a cube game and they automatically compare it to Minecraft, but it really does not need to be compared to Minecraft at all. It's a thing all its own, and it is fantastic.
Works great.
So
we could start here by reviewing the whole item customization, which is one of my personal favorite features.
So basically, there are little caves. They're not really developed yet. They're just kind of little caves, and they have like iron and emeralds and rubies occasionally. And you'll just break those blocks, and you'll bring the nuggets back here to the furnace, and you'll basically just like smelt iron cubes. And there's a algorithm, I guess, where you can get multiple cubes per smelt. So that's pretty neat, I think. But yeah, here's the weapon customization. And basically, you take those iron cubes, and you can just put them anywhere on the weapon, and it actually changes the appearance of the weapon up to 16 cubes. And that also increases the HP that the weapon gives you, the damage it does. It's a really just a neat thing.
You can also find little spirits off of bosses, which are spread throughout the world in great numbers, that increase the other stats of weapons, such as like the haste or tempo, as they call it, the crit percent, and things like that, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Let's re-emphasize a lot of bosses. There are a lot of bosses.
And it may seem sometimes that, you haven't seen a boss in a while, so maybe there just aren't so many. But this game, unlike Minecraft claims to be infinite, but this game is truly infinite. Like, if you discover a zone, it'll just create more. It'll literally go on forever. There's no end to this.
Yep.
And just based on how huge it is, like, I think we've discovered about 3,000 square kilometers of this map so far alone in the past
And I'm going to just go to my map here so you guys can see. The lighter area is like what we've discovered. And these are the 4 zones that I have been to. The map is actually really cool too, because if you zoom in close enough, depending on how close you are zoomed in, your mini-map up top will change its zoom ratio of some sort. I guess it's a ratio.
And starting out in the game, though, it's kind of rough because of the fact that you're so weak, you're so minuscule, and traveling was the most cumbersome thing because of the fact the game was huge. You didn't have any means of travel besides walking.
That was a very hard thing to do because you start off in one city, and you really think that that's going to be the only city because you go way far out and there's nothing else except bosses. But you get to a new zone, and there is a new city in every zone. So to get between, or to travel between those, takes a very long time until you get the pets. And the pets, you can actually get rideable pets, which you obtain through these treats. This pet food, you can get like chocolate donuts, chocolate bars, and they each have their own specific animal that they attract, I guess, and that you can tame. And it's just really neat.
The pets themselves, you can also level up, which has not been entirely polished yet because there are currently some bugs where, pets will lose levels and things of that nature. But, pets level up, they become great assets in combat. You can deal a lot more damage with them, and they take a lot of damage for you, so bosses become a lot less difficult. You can increase your riding speed. I think mine's at like 170% now. Yeah,
you use the skill tree, and you go into Pet Master, which, like you can see here, your pet becomes stronger, and then you can go into riding and increase your riding speed You have to make sure that your pet is hydrated though, and that would be indicated by little water marks under your pet's name, which I'll show here in a second because mine's actually completely dehydrated at the moment.
Yes, mine as well. Another cool thing though about the skill tree is you get 2 points per level, and with this there are actually infinite levels. There's no level cap, none at all. So you keep leveling up, you keep making your skills so much better. You can take a skill down to virtually no cooldown. You become infinitely more powerful. Your pets become more powerful. You can travel faster. They have hang gliding boats to cross ocean biomes. They have entire zones that are just oceans, and you can find little islands with bosses on them. Great content.
Which those are probably pretty rare because we haven't found one yet. Then again, we haven't done enough exploring, I don't think, because this game is absolutely huge.
It's
huge
massive,
emphasis on that.
And in the week we've been playing, I've been playing this game constantly, and I've only fully discovered one biome.
Oh, there's a guy chasing me.
We've been into.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go into combat actually, since this guy's chasing me. So you have skills. You'll need to put skill points into your tree in order to obtain these skills. You start off with just basic attacks like any other game. Let me just show you skill 1.
The combat itself is very similar to games.
Skill 2.
Such as it's more like the combat flows a lot like games like Torchlight and Diablo, in the sense that instead of relying entirely on your number key skills, such as in games like World of Warcraft, you actually have a left mouse button attack and a right mouse button attack. Your left mouse being your standard melee or your standard casting ability, and your right being your special ability, which you can use after you gain X amount of mana points at the bottom right, or I think it just scales the damage with how much mana you have at any given point.
And I would also like to point out, I never pointed it back out, the hydration under the animal is there now, so it has 5 water things, water droplets, I guess you'd say, underneath his little XP bar, and that determines how long you can ride him. As we ride, those will actually deplete, and you'll have to find a nearby river or stream or creek or whatever it is.
Which isn't as bad as it sounds if you keep it in mind. It's very easy to forget about this, but just one of those added game mechanics you gotta watch out for. No big deal at all.
You do need to watch out for that, because you don't want to get too far away from like a creek or a river or a city and then not be able to find a creek or a river.
Here's a camp.
Go back.
Great timing. There are camps spread throughout the world, which are actually, they're very resourceful in the fact that you can use these beds to either speed the clock, which is great because when it's dark outside, it is extremely dark. You cannot see more than 4 feet ahead of you, unless you have this convenient little lamp turned on. But even then, you're blinded.
These camps are also nice because the fires are actually used to cook items that will give you health back. And these little beds, you can actually sleep in these if you're off your animal, which I am not. And they will actually regenerate your health, which is a huge advantage when you're out exploring the world and you come across some +3s, +4s.
You're gonna die a lot. That's the basic thing. You're gonna learn that very early on. Until you're a good level 20 or 30, you're gonna die a lot, and it's gonna be kind of stressful at first. But as it stands right now in the current alpha state, there aren't really quite any penalties for death. There are resurrection points spread very closely to each other, so you don't spawn too far away. Not too much of an issue. Another cool feature they have though is they created bombs, which aren't quite polished yet as everything else is, but as you can see with the quick press of a button, yeah, it didn't do anything. Didn't do anything at all. Nope, not quite polished.
Not here, but if we take you out to a rock, which this is a rock right here. Do you have another bomb?
I have 11.
Alright, let's go ahead and show them what they do to these rocks.
Let's hope they don't disappoint us again.
Very likely, however, I don't think it will.
Quite wonderful.
Okay, and that's what it's going to do to a rock. I don't actually know what the purpose of that is right now. I'm assuming that later on they'll have prizes inside the rocks, maybe. I'm
hoping they allow you to create your own caves later on.
Creating caves would be
mountains, creating your own route. You know what I mean? As opposed to just, blowing up useless rocks as we just did.
I believe there are also rumors of creating your own home later on too, aren't there?
No, it's not even a rumor. He confirmed it on the website, which is
great. He did? Okay.
Yeah, it's planned future updates. His home's on the website. He's going to elaborate on portals, new enemies. new
Portals.
classes.
That's a thing that we need to talk about. Portals, I have yet to come across one in the 4 areas that I've been to. They are very rare. I don't exactly know if... I don't know, like, how often they appear or how often they're supposed to appear, but all I know is that I have not found one in 4 areas of travel.
Well, you haven't fully discovered them, though, either, so that's to be noted.
But I've heard also that a lot of people are having trouble finding portals.
Which is to be I mean, it's not much of an issue.
It's not a bad thing, though.
For me, I mean, I felt like walking really hindered the game at first because it just seemed like such a hassle. Every time I wanted to go back to the city and sell, it was just horrible. But honestly, after playing for a week and a half with 3 or 4 hours a day, it's great just because of the fact that it encourages you to explore the talent trees, to explore the game.
Yeah, and the talent tree, I strongly recommend that you put skill points into your riding ability. It just helps the game so much.
As soon as you can, it instantly improves it.
And it's not so much that it's a bad place to explore, it's just it takes so long to explore it. The world creation it reminds me of Minecraft Alpha before they polished up all of the mountains.
And try to make it more realistic looking.
More realistic, yeah. This is a true random spawner, and it's just very nice. Very nice.
Yep,
I think I just picked up an item. Oh, and there is fall damage, and every time you fall and take damage, you also get a concussion, which is the most... That is probably my biggest complaint with this game, because fall damage comes quite often.
Yeah. But beyond that, this is just the kind of game, for me, it feels like it's just the kind of game, it's kind of mindless. You just play it while cranking some tunes, enjoy it while not having to think too hard about it.
It is exactly like Minecraft's Alpha, but exactly the opposite of Minecraft's Alpha.
I don't know. I mean, much more polished. So much more
polished. Much more polished.
They
but
really
the replayability factor is much like Minecraft, I think. I think that's why it's so comparable to Minecraft, is because the replayability is basically endless. There's basically no replay, it's just playability.
Yep, and exploration is key in games like this.
Exploration is key.
If you open up the map, all these little names and stuff, all the pyramids and the valleys and the canyons, these are all little zones that have their own boss, all of their own it's like little instances or dungeons in World of Warcraft. Yeah,
and each of these little crossed swords are actually world bosses that spawn.
Huge bosses, very difficult if you're alone. You want to go in with potions, and the game itself, it draws from a lot of different sources. It draws inspiration, not so much as stealing, but it takes combat from games such as Legends of Zelda, a little bit from games like Torchlight and Diablo with the whole left and right click abilities.
I think it takes a lot of its movesets too from World of Warcraft, because I've noticed
from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I've noticed the warrior abilities are right on key with the warrior abilities in World of Warcraft.
Whirlwind or Bladestorm,
Whirlwind, yeah, Bladestorm.
It's just the way it's really fluent. The game is so fluid, and that was one of the first things we noticed, is the way it felt. It feels great. It does. It just flows.
I can't explain how smooth it was when I first entered the game, how fluid the mouse just kind of swept across the screen, and how the movement just kind of... It just felt completely right.
It feels great, and with games like Minecraft, it feels blocky. It feels like it's a cube-based game, which is to be expected.
Exactly.
This game doesn't quite have that feeling, even though that's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
It feels more natural than that, which is fantastic. They did a great job with that, especially considering this game was made by 2 people, I do believe. A man from Europe and his wife.
That's awesome.
Very awesome.
That is very
awesome. I envy him.
So I'm gonna go ahead and sleep here again. But I think that's I think we're drawing on the end of our review. There will be more to come, of course.
Fantastic game. Would love to do a let's play.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start that actually sometime.
Sounds
great. It may be tomorrow that it's up. It may be next week that it's up. I don't know when we're gonna start.
Maybe 3 years ago.
3 years ago could be that. But we will definitely have a let's play up on the channel. This is CosmoClam and Subranis, so hope you enjoyed the review.
Yep.